An equalizer will change the way things sound. If something sounds kind of off or not quite right, an EQ is there to equalize it for you. Make things equal. Yeah, really equalize, make things equal. It's as simple as that. I've got some pink noise running into Helix Native, and we're going to call up an EQ. We're just going to load up the parametric EQ because it has the most doodads to confuse you, and we'll go over all of them. First of all, let's talk about this EQ that we see here in the middle. This is the frequency spectrum. This is all sound we can hear. Everything from 0 hertz, we can't even hear that, all the way up to 20 kilohertz or 20,000 hertz. So you have your frequency selection, your low frequency, your mid frequency, and your high frequency. And you also have a Q parameter. You have a low Q, you have a mid Q, you have a high Q. You also get a gain parameter, low gain, mid gain, and a high gain. So in a nutshell, you have a 3-band EQ, and you get to select your low frequency, your mid frequency, and your high frequency. Your Q, low Q, mid Q, and high Q, let you select how wide or how narrow that band of frequencies are. So a low Q will get you a nice wide lift or cut, and a narrow or a high Q will give you a very narrow peak or a narrow cut. Let's show you on the graph. We'll take the mid frequency. Right now it's at about 3 kilohertz. We'll raise the Q all the way up so it's a nice spike. And there it is. You can see that peak right there. And let's move it around, and you can see it move around. And if I turn my speakers up, you can hear it. Almost sounds like, like a filter effect, or almost like a wah-wah. That's key to listening for what might be wrong in the sound you're hearing. When you go to grab an EQ, something sounds a little too, so you're going to go seek out that in the mids, and you're going to try to cut that out. Or maybe let's listen to some low frequencies. Okay, they're little, they're kind of vowel-y. Ooh, you got the O's and the U's down there in the lows, and you got the E's and the A's in the mids. And let's listen to the highs now. Bring the high gain up. You get that very airy, whistly, all those frequencies up there. If you need to cut some very specific frequency, you want a high Q. If you want to get rid of all the bass, you want a low Q. So, keep all that in mind when you're hunting and pecking for stuff. And of course, on this EQ, there's a low cut, which rolls off everything, and a high cut rolls off everything in that direction. Then it sounds like a telephone. Okay, well, that concludes this video. I hope it was useful for you. And if not, feel free to ask in the comments below. Good night.